Coming up on this episode of Roots from LNER.
I was on a train, I think from London back up to Leeds, and is it Christopher Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the same carriage, and I was really tempted to go say, oh, we've got something in common, like a gold medal at the Olympics, but I chickened out. The one thing I actually took away from that experience and being really nervous for competitions and other stuff is that I'd always think someone outside this pool who's just walking by has no idea I exist, has no idea there's competitions going on, and is just going about their day. Like, it is just a normal day. Time is always ticking. Time never stops. My prized possession of the Olympic gold medal is the only one I have in my flat in Leeds. And the MBE medal is in there too.
Oh, yeah. See, that's also
cool
quite
one.
a good one. Who gave you it?
The King.
I mean, that's a win.
Oh, it was. It really was. And it was really, really special.
Welcome to Roots from LNER. Now, BLT or G&T. With food and drink delivered to your seat, it's freedom all the way with LNER. Hello there, I'm Jenny Falconer, and today on Roots I am joined by an Olympic gold medal winning diver competing at the highest level in sport. I mean, let's be honest, he's seen the world in a way few of us ever will from the top of a diving board. Please welcome Matty Lee. It's
Hello.
so good to see you. Would you know what, when we were saying there that you have seen the top of a 10-metre diving board? I have done some diving,
Yeah.
but I was too scared to go to the 10-metre board.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's really high.
It is. And I think in a diving pool, in that setting, because it all kind of leads up to that. That's the highest point in the building, really. And it makes it look higher, I think. Because if you stood on a 10-metre cliff edge, and don't do that, it's not safe, but if you did, it wouldn't feel as high, I don't think. But I think because it's in the building and stuff, it's kind of scary.
But it's like, I mean, you don't even just stand on it, you stand on the edge of the board in like a handstand. I have no idea how you do it. It is amazing. I am in total awe. Forget the fact that you've won millions of medals for it. The fact that you can just hold that position deserves a medal in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sadly do it anymore. But like the handstand at the end of the board was like, don't get me wrong, it probably looked scary. I was scared. Like it's the most, for me, the most nerve-wracking thing was in competition, going up in the handstand on the edge of the 10-metre board. And obviously, like, you can't, if you come back down, that's like a 2-point deduction, or if you fall off, that's a failed dive. And it once happened to me where I kind of came up and I was just, my nerves always normally go into my hands. So if I'm on my feet on the end under the board, I'm fine. But on my handstand, I like kind of was going up slowly, and you're not allowed to move your hands, so you have to be all planted. I'm going up slowly, and I'm like kind of not getting all the way up, and then I fell in. And that was a failed dive.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that was at the national championships, actually.
Off the 10 metres.
Yeah. I mean, I was absolutely fine. I skilled it out, and I landed on my feet.
Still looked good.
Yeah, always. But I actually ended up, that was my second dive of the competition. I had 4 more to go. And I still, even though like my head's gone because I'm now out of the medals, out of the qualification for that year, but I still went on to actually have a good competition and like got a very good score to say I had a complete failed dive. So like you always got to take like the positives out of the negatives.
Yeah. Oh, we have so much to discuss. I'm so pleased that you're here. Welcome to the train carriage.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to Leeds,
Yeah.
as you can see on the board there, and we will discuss why we're going to Leeds in a bit.
Yeah.
It says it's delayed. It's
Oh,
lucky.
no.
Sorry if you are actually waiting for a train to Leeds and it is delayed. Apologies. Apologies. It is really nice to have you here. You're living back in Leeds now, aren't you?
Yes.
As well?
Yeah. I am. I moved to London 7 years ago for diving. I remember I was at a training camp in Turkey, and my like boss kind of came over to me. And it was at breakfast, and he like pulled me to a side and said, "Matty, would you move to London and do synchro with Tom Daly?" And I was like, "Yes." That's the easiest yes of my life, obviously. But I kind of didn't know what I was in for in a way with like move. You know, I lived in Leeds my whole life, and I did have 1 year where I lived away from home in Leeds, which was great fun. But I didn't quite know what I was in for, and didn't expect myself to stay for 7 years, but I did, and I loved it. But yeah, recently moved back home, closer to my family and my friends, and I just kind of realized I needed to fill up my cup, because after retirement it's hard. There's no two ways about it. Like it's difficult to navigate through retirement, especially at a young age. Like it's not a retirement where I can just dot off and just
I'm
spend my
retired. I'm going
money
to
and
get a pipe and slippers and
yeah,
sit
yeah,
there
yeah.
at how old? 28.
Yeah,
Yeah.
28 now, yeah. But I was 26 when I retired,
Oh wow.
which has gone crazy quick, but it's probably because 'cause I've done not that much, which is fine because I needed a bit of rest as
It
well. I
sounds like
deserved
you've
it.
had quite a fun time, actually, to
Yeah,
be honest,
yeah.
traveling and having a great life.
I've done a lot of traveling actually. I kind of forgot, like, some people said, "Oh, like, what have you been doing?" I'm like, not much." But then I went, "Hang on a minute, no, I've like last year I went on so many different holidays." But I think traveling now just feels different because I used to travel all the time with diving, which was my job. So I, like, just had to do it. It was always organized for other people. But now obviously, I'm no longer diving. When I'm traveling, it's normally for leisure, which is really nice, and I can actually enjoy these adventures and holidays. And I come down to London quite often, obviously for podcasts with yourself and on my own podcast, and yeah, so a lot of traveling.
You say that you're doing it yourself. The only downside now that you're not doing it for work, you have to pay for it. You have
Mhm.
to organize it. You have
Mhm.
to kind of like be in charge of yourself, which is so much easier when someone else is organizing everything like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Luckily, my girlfriend's quite organised, so
Okay. So you've
when we
passed logistics over to her.
yeah. So whenever we do go on holiday together, she's got it. But sometimes organizes it way too much, and I'm like, wait, no, you didn't put in rest in that. You need to put in rest for most of the time because a holiday is, for me, I like to rest on
I
holiday.
do. I'm like that. I'm the kind of person that goes, "Right." And every night my family are like, "Oh, please don't, please don't." I'm like, "So what time are we getting up?" Just so I can make a plan for tomorrow. And they're like,
Yeah.
"No." And they humor me and I'm like, "Okay, breakfast, blah." And then I put in where I want to go to the gym or do a run or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I'll go, "You can sunbathe here." And then we'll go for dinner there. And then I'm like, "There we go. There's the schedule for tomorrow."
Yeah.
Never sticks to it, but it's there.
Yeah, and I would say one thing I learned through like traveling with a team of people all the time is that it's very and like this kind of goes to like when when you go on a holiday with your family or a group of friends, like it's okay to like slot in your own personal time because there was so many times where if we ever went on a 2 week trip with diving, if it was a competition or training camp. First week, everyone's getting on well. Everyone's, working together and happy. But when it gets into the second week, you can tell everyone's sick of each other, and it's quite funny. And and I've got to like charge my batteries on my own sometimes. So like, it's important to also, set aside a little bit of time for yourself.
Yeah. It's like when you go to breakfast and everyone chooses a table on their own.
Yeah. But at
I
the start
just
of the week, everyone's together on one big table, and by the end of the second week, everyone's like, "Nah, don't speak to me."
right, so imagine for a minute
Mhm.
you're on a train, okay, and this is our carriage. Which way are you sitting? Are you sitting direction of travel? Are you the other way?
I actually don't mind. This morning, obviously, came from Leeds to London on the LNER, and I was facing backwards. As a kid, I never cared, but as an adult, I hear people on trains like, "Oh, I need to sit forward, like otherwise I'll feel dodgy." I then start to like believe it myself
This
that
is me. I
yeah,
don't think there's any difference,
yeah. No,
but
no.
I've fallen for the rumors.
Like I'm like feared, like the rumors have feared me, but like today, I was absolutely fine going backwards. So yeah, and I was in a nice single seater.
Okay, what do you do if you've reserved a seat and it's enough for a table and there are 3 people already there? Do you go, "Oh, not my seat," and keep going?
But yes, 100%. Yeah. It depends if it's really busy. Like some of the trains can be like rush hour trains and they're really busy. And if you've got a seat, just sit on it because otherwise you'll end up stood up in the carriageway or whatever. But most of the time, if it's not that busy, I'd probably walk past and find a green light somewhere, hopefully, where I can sit on my own.
That's it. I just say hello to anyone on a train right now. I hope you've got a seat in the direction of travel that you want,
Yeah.
and that you're comfy, and that your fellow kind of like companions are all nice and
hmm
chatty. Would you strike up a chat with someone?
Probably not. Actually, the other week I was on a train. I think from London back up to Leeds, and there was what's his name? Thingy and Thingy, the legendary ice skaters that got a gold.
Torval and Dean.
Yeah. Is it Christopher Dean?
Yeah.
Is that his? Yeah. He was in the same carriage, and I was really tempted to go say, "Oh, we've got something in common, like a gold medal at the Olympics." But I chickened out. So if I can't
I
speak to
mean,
him, I'm not
that would
probably
have
not
been
going to speak
cool.
to anyone.
I bet it doesn't happen often that someone goes, "We've got something in common. We both have a gold medal."
Yeah. So that's I was thinking that that's a cool way to say hello. Like he's not going to just pass me off. I obviously don't know how if he's nice or
He's
not.
very
I'm sure
nice.
he is. But I'd rather, if I am gonna go say hello to someone, I'd rather have something to say that's fun for them to hear as well, instead of
Yeah.
just like, "Hello."
You see, the average person can just go up and go, "I've watched you on Dancing on Ice,"
Yeah.
or "I liked your bolero," but you can have a gold medal bonding chat. You see, how nice
Yeah, I
is
should have
that?
done it, I regret it.
Where do you keep all your medals? Because you have a lot of them.
My prized possession of the Olympic gold medal is the only one I have at my flat in Leeds. It survived the journey, back from London, up to Leeds. Well, there's a load of, like junior, like, novice when I was, like, a bit like a not a baby, but when I was, like, a young kid. There's like, a load of little medals in, like, a there used to be all along my dad's, like, living room, hanging off a wire, but, now they're all in, like, a wallet because there is quite a lot of them. But all my, like, good medals, like my world championship medals and Commonwealth medals, um, they're all in a nice cabinet in my mum's house.
Nice. I know that probably got to stage where they're like, "Listen, there's too many. We can't put any more up. There's no space for anything else anywhere."
Yeah, I'm kind of worried. Since moving back to Leeds, I'm kind of like waiting for my mum to be like, "Okay, now you're closer. Like you can have your medals now." But she hasn't, and I don't think she will. I think she enjoys having it
Yeah,
at her
proud
home.
mum,
Yeah,
for goodness
yeah,
sake.
and the MBE medal is in there too,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
See, that's
it's a
also
cool
quite a
one.
good one. Who gave you it?
The king,
I
and
mean, that's a win.
oh, it was, it really was, and it was really, really special. And I remember I'm pretty sure it was his first ever um, invest investiture, or whatever the word
That
is,
word, yeah.
um, as king.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I believe it was his first one as king, which I felt. I mean, it might not be, but I'm pretty sure it was, and I'll just say it is because it feels pretty cool.
Who did you take along with you?
I took my mum, my granny, and my brother.
Oh my goodness. You see, whenever you see anyone going to get their honours, right, it looks like everyone has spent quite a long time planning what they're wearing.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's not an ordinary day out.
no, 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 no. You got to get brand new everything.
You have done so much. I mean, I know that we said, I mean, you're only in your 20s, but you had this career that was 20 years. It's nuts. And then you've even retired from that career. That's how much you've achieved. Um, before before you started the diving, right? What was were you just like a normal kid that hung out with your mum and dad and went on normal holidays?
I think so. I definitely
That's
had.
how young you were.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would have been. I started diving when I was 7, so it
Wow.
would have been 7 under, and I can barely remember those years. But I think I definitely was hyperactive child, for damn sure. And like I feel like my mum and dad always just tried to send me to different like not like sending me off to do sports, but I think I just enjoyed sports. So me and my brother's 5 years older than me, so we always kind of used to go to like the same, like on school holidays, obviously my mum and dad would be still working. My dad worked at the University of Leeds, and my mum worked as an NHS nurse. So like those jobs kind of just always always going on. So on school holidays, I'd either go to like play scheme, I think it was called, and
Oh,
stuff
all
like
the
that.
camps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember I hated being dropped off. Even though my brother was mainly always with me too, but I hated it. Especially when my brother didn't come with me. Hated it. But then by the end of that camp, I loved it. And like I had made some friends and stuff, but God, they used to scary times when your mum and dad used to like drop you off at play scheme and you had no idea who anyone was.
So was diving something that just became obvious it was the sport that was for you? And how on earth they discover that diving's your sport? I mean, are you just at the Leeds swimming pool and you go up the board and that's it?
It's a very niche sport. Even like I'd say diving's still very niche. And back then it obviously must have been incredibly niche. And how most people get into it, not me though, but how most people get into it is like they call it TID testing. So they would go to schools around the area and do TID testing where they like take the kids for like a PE lesson, and they'll measure your limbs and your legs, obviously your height too, and also ask for your parents' height because diving, ideally, you don't want to be too tall. If you're going to be 6 foot plus, you're going to make it hard for yourself. So it's not impossible. I know a good few very successful divers that are 6 foot plus. But yeah, it's a lot easier when you're a bit smaller. So they'd look at that and then like do little tests, like maybe a long jump or how high you can jump and your flexibility. But I don't really know if they're actually. I think they're just honestly mainly looking for small people. I think that's the main tick box, and then they say come and try diving. But the way I did it was my brother did it before me, And my mum and dad picked up a flyer at the local swimming baths, which was Scottle swimming baths in Leeds, and it said like, "Come try diving out at the international pool," which is no longer there in Leeds. Sadly, it's been knocked down.
Has
But
it? Oh, that's where I used to go
yeah,
swimming when I
yeah,
was in
yeah,
Leeds.
yeah. That's where I started diving, and it's quite sad they knocked it down. But yeah, I mean, I think it was falling apart even when we were there training. So yeah, and so okay, come try diving. My brother did. I think he enjoyed it. He made a good group of friends. And obviously, when I was learning to swim, I would then have to wait for my brother to finish diving, and I would watch him. And I'd probably be with either my mum or dad, and sometimes my granny and grandpa would also come and like pick us up and stuff like whilst my mum and dad are working. So I just kind of sit with them and watch my brother. And I feel like it's that classic story of following in your brother's footsteps, which is exactly what I did. Like he almost tested out first and was like, "It's okay," and then I obviously then went into it too. And I wasn't necessarily good straight away. I didn't show like incredible talent, not for a while actually. And even like as I was kind of climbing the junior ranks ish, I was still like the management above still didn't see much in me. Didn't I wasn't backed really. It was just persistence the whole time, and genuinely just because I love doing it. I think because I love doing it, I didn't care what the management thought. I didn't care if they were like, "Oh, you're not good enough," da, 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 or "You can't do 5 pike ups on a bar. That means you're not going to be a good diver." Um, that's a load of rubbish. I obviously was and am a good diver, so it was mainly because I just loved it. Why I managed to like kind of just slowly go up like that.
Yeah, but that's great to be good at something that you love. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's cool.
No, it is, and now coming out of it, like being retired and not being able to do it anymore, it is really like I always saw a lot of ex divers retire, and it was always like a thing of like they would straight away say like, "Oh, thank God, I don't want to be involved with diving. I want to get as far away," and they go and like do a job elsewhere, and then everyone always comes back. And I always saw it and like always that question, like I wonder why that happens. Like, but now being through it, I kind of understand like um with I think because you've just been doing it for so many years, you just want something new and fresh to do, and then you kind of realize I miss it so much. Even though I can't do it, I can still be a part of it in some ways, and I'm now starting to think like I want to like give back to diving in certain ways, maybe do a bit of coaching at Leeds Diving Club, and whatever. But that's mainly just for fun. Like I just want to volunteer and like maybe do 1 or 2 days a
That'd be
week.
great.
Yeah,
Any
and I
kid
want to coach kids. I don't want to coach adults because kids is where it's at. Kids is where the passion starts, and and seeing their little faces when they like learn a new dive and they trust you, like
Yeah,
it's powerful.
yeah. I learned to dive, and you've got to have a good teacher. It's
When
also
did you learn to dive?
Oh, I did
Was it for
that.
splash?
I did Splash
You
with
did.
Tom, and
You did.
Tom Daly was the coach, and
Yeah.
I was one of the people of the series one. We didn't know. I thought it was like serious diving.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was, but I was terrified. So they put me on the springboard. So I was
Doing,
doing the
doing,
springboard
doing.
stuff. It was, I mean, I didn't realize it was possible to do an eye flop. So literally, I would, you belly flop and it hurts your stomach.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
landed face first, and my eyes, I was like, that
Yeah.
actually hurt my eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can get blind
Yeah.
from hitting the water with your eyes
One
open.
of the guys dived in and hit his nose on the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
That was another one. I mean,
Yeah.
it was dangerous
Yeah,
sports,
yeah. Very.
especially when you're rubbish like all of us.
Yeah, I loved splash. Like as a kid doing diving, I looked up to Tom a lot. Probably in around 20. It was after 2012 when he did it, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah,
2013 maybe
it
season 1?
was.
And obviously I was still a very young kid, but by then I was already a junior European champion, so I was like good in my own right, but still like really looked up to Tom, and like watching splash was for us like good and hilarious because I think it also showed people that it's really tough.
The thing is with diving, there are so many amazing opportunities. I mean, I got to go on Splash and
Hmm.
learn how to dive and
Yeah.
learn that I couldn't, but you got to travel the world. I mean, you saw some incredible places.
Yeah, no, I really did, and I'm so lucky that diving took me around the world. And my mum and dad actually didn't do much traveling at all until like I think until but me and my brother were kind of born, and I think our first like family holidays was to France, and we always used to drive over. But yeah, but my mum and dad didn't ever really go on many holidays. I think my dad only went abroad once before that trip and stuff. So like I don't come from a traveling family, but diving instantly, or like straight away, was almost taking me around the world. I remember my first like long haul flight was to Canada
Wow.
for a competition. It was low level. It wasn't like Team GB or British diving. It was club level. So I was representing City of Leeds Diving Club.
Yeah, but how cool. When you go on that first transatlantic plane, you're like,
Oh my,
"Whoa!"
yeah, no, and like the movies and like I just, it's funny because it gets so normal. But I remember that first time and being like, this is crazy that I can basically watch all the premieres that have just been out in the cinema, and I loved it. But yeah, and my dad actually came on that trip too, which was really nice to have, because I think I was like 11, 12,
Oh, wow.
maybe. And like I was traveling with, some of them were 18, like some of them were older, and so I think that's why my dad came with me, because I needed my own chaperone, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, and like obviously since then I've been all over the place. I've loved every second of it. But since stopping, I kind of like I miss it a lot. And the ease of traveling, especially when you don't organize it, is quite nice. And I think the thing I miss the most is traveling with a big group of people. Because when I'm like traveling either on my own or with a small amount of people, I sometimes find myself now getting quite anxious. And I don't know really why, but when I'm with a big group of people, I'm distracted. Like I'm not thinking about other things. I'm just, I'm chatting to my friends, like making jokes, like with the diving lot, and yeah, I really do miss it.
Yeah, I mean, it always when you're on if you are on a flight and a big group comes in, it just looks, "Oh, look, there we go. There's the team or the school trip or whatever."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's just people having banter with their mates.
Yeah.
It looks like it would be
Yeah,
fun.
that reminded me, like when we'd be wearing kit. Towards the end of my career, we were told not to wear kit when we traveled, just I guess to not bring attention to ourselves. But in the early days, we all wore kit, so everyone knew, we were the. Well, it always said British swimming for years, so everyone was like, "You're swimmers." Because they'd always look confused because we're not that tall. But like I have to always have that conversation. No, we're divers. But we'd always be like at the back of the plane talking to all the air hostesses and cabin crew, and it was always fun because and like sometimes they would never sort us out with like a bit, a little cheeky upgrade. I always wish they did, but never did.
But don't they do that when you get a medal? Oh, no, wait. Yeah, you see, if you get a medal, don't you
Yeah.
get an upgrade?
So supposedly yes, and that is a thing. But on the way back from Tokyo, because it was COVID as well, it was slightly different. I was on a flight with some of the taekwondo athletes, Team GB athletes, and that was about it. Because after your competition, you had 2 days to leave, which was really sad. So I didn't get to like experience the athletes' village properly after I've stopped competing, and the city of Tokyo. And it was if it was a British Airways flight and crew, I would have obviously been upgraded. Not obviously, but like that's a thing. It is a thing. And but it was British Airways operated by Japanese airlines,
Oh,
which is a great airlines, but
but you
they
didn't
obviously
get the upgrade.
no.
I feel like you're owed one here.
Right? I
Yeah.
would think so too.
I definitely think that should be in there. And when you were traveling, with kind of the whole team, was it like very much focus, 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 or could you? I mean, you said you didn't get to see Tokyo, but that was
Mm,
COVID, I guess.
yeah.
When you went somewhere, did you get a chance to explore?
We it depends. Most of the time, yes, yeah, because we're normally there with like a week before competition starts. Sometimes two. So like most of the time we do have time to go and like explore a bit, but I guess you just got to be mindful at the same time, because obviously if we go out exploring, our legs are going to be tired. You're going to be doing a lot more steps. We're not resting. So like as a professional athlete on one side, and then also on this side, I just want to see the world and have a bit of fun and switch off. Like it's a hard balance, but there is a balance where you can manage it. There's definitely been times where we'd go out, you know, exploring, and then the next day go to training. My coach is just fuming at all of us because we're all tired. All we can't jump that high because our like legs are just not firing, and yeah, so it's a bit of a juggle.
That's a shame because it's like you're traveling the world, but really you're just seeing another swimming pool.
Yeah, no, honestly, most of the time it's plane, transport to the hotel to the pool, back for, and that was definitely through COVID as well. It was horrible.
Yeah, that is frustrating,
Hmm.
isn't it? But at least you got to travel to these places and maybe see a bit of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe. What was it like being away from parents and traveling? I would guess for some kids it's like, oh, imagine how cool that would be
yeah,
traveling the world and
yeah.
then coming home and your mum and dad are still at home.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, and, like, I was never, like, a scared kid. I never got homesick or anything like that either. I always kinda loved being away, and especially when I was younger, I'd always bring something back for my family and I would always bring, always buy thimbles. Actually, they were quite hard to find thimbles, um, in random places in the world. You know thimble, the
Yeah,
like, yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
There
I'd
was a
always
there
buy
was a
one.
stage when everyone used to collect them, wasn't there?
Oh.
You'd go to any kind of like country house or
Yeah,
national trust
yeah,
place and you'd
yeah,
get the
yeah,
thimble.
exactly. It was probably around that period, and I'd always buy one for my granny, and she always collected them as well, so they were in her mantelpiece. So yeah, I was never homesick, but always spoke to my parents. There, I was always like FaceTiming them and stuff. But it got to a point where in like around 2015, I got really nervous of competing. I just got, I don't know what it was, but I just used to get really nervous. I mean, I can tell you what it was. 2015. I competed in my first World Championships, and I was 2015. I would have been like I was 16, I think, or no, I was 15 years old,
Okay.
competing at a World Champion. I think I was 15. I don't know. But I was competing at a World Championship with all the senior athletes I've watched on TV growing up and idolized, and all of a sudden I'm like with them too. So I think it was just so, overwhelming, and I
How
used to
do
get
you
really
channel those
nervous.
nerves? Because, everyone gets I've been nervous in
Yeah, yeah.
competitions because you're out of your comfort zone a
Yeah.
little bit as well. I mean, you were absolutely in your comfort zone in terms of diving, but suddenly you were in a different group, so
Yeah,
that would have been quite daunting.
it
But
was.
how do you everyone always goes, "Just channel those nerves into something positive." That is easier said than done.
Yeah, extremely easier said than done. So, sometimes you've got to, like, there's a few competitions, like that whole World Championships, I was just nervous the whole time, and it went alright, to be fair. Like, I was quite happy with the way it did, but, like, I wasn't sleeping the nights before. I could barely eat. I was shaking from here and there. Um, and so sometimes you just have to, like, not sacrifice, but there will be times where you can't channel any sort of positivity or anything like that. But it's like persistence and trying and trying. And then I started to work quite closely with a sports psychologist, which was really helpful. But it got to the point where, like, sometimes where you're almost digging to find a problem, yet there's no problem. It was just a phase almost. And I think that was mainly it. And I kind of came out of it thinking the one thing I actually took away from that experience and being really nervous for competitions and other stuff is that I'd always think someone outside this pool who's just walking by has no idea I exist, has no idea there's competitions going on, and is just going about their day. Like, it is just a normal day. Time is always ticking. Time never stops. Because I used to wish time away. I used to wish it would go quicker, like, because I was so nervous. I just wanted the competition to be over. And then by the time it was over, I'm like, oh my god, that went too quick. I dived terribly, and so, like, I started to learn to, like, sit with it and, like, be get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because then I was able to compete better and actually get results and be happier afterwards.
Yeah. I think, well, I mean, that's good. There was a lesson learned there
Yeah,
then
yeah.
along the way. I mean, the thing is, though, doing all the traveling as well, you'd be jet lagged as well as feeling like that. So it can't have necessarily always helped.
Yeah, no, there was some diving competitions were crazy. We used to so there was it used to be called the World Series, which was the best competition diving ever did, because it was basically either 4 to 6 competitions a year, and it was like leg 1, leg 2 onwards. And it was the top 12. Well, I think it was lower than that. It was like there wasn't that many divers there. At the World Championship, sometimes you're competing against 60 other people, and it takes ages. Like, some competitions can last. You're doing 6 dives in the space of 5 hours, and you just have to stay dry, and stay warm and stay focused during that whole 5 hours, which is honestly awful. But something you have to do. But at the World Series, if you're good at, like, if you qualified at the World Champs the year before, and came, like, maybe top 12 or top 8 or top 7, you then qualify for the World Series, which is, like, obviously a much shorter, smaller competition. So, like, you'd go to, and they're always in really cool cities. It was like Beijing, Japan, Russia. Like, we did quite a few in Kazan, in Russia, and Moscow, Dubai. It was always, and Canada, and I was meant to go to Mexico, and in diving, Mexico is really big.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well,
Um,
I mean, I have met some Mexicans that they all jump off cliffs.
well, yeah. They're a bit crazy when it comes to cliff diving. But they love their diving, and I was always, and they've got a massive fan base, and I always wanted to compete there, and I was meant to. But sadly, things happened, and we couldn't. It got cancelled, and then only just now they've started to compete again back in Mexico. So obviously I'm happy about that.
But you missed your
But I
chance to
missed my
go there.
chance. Yeah.
You've been to Mexico, have you, though?
Yes, I have recently, actually. I went to Mexico City, and that was for like a holiday-ish. But my girlfriend works for Formula E as
Okay.
well. So I like to also, she's there working, but it's nice to go and see what she does as well. And I mean, she's not racing the cars, but I like the racing bit. And then she just does, well, she does a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. She does her thing, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
you go along and enjoy it while you're there as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah. It's a nice little travel hack, to be
Oh,
fair.
you see, so this is it. So now that you're no longer traveling with diving,
Hmm.
you are now traveling around Formula E,
Yeah.
exploring where there's
We met as I was I knew I was kind of probably on my way out ish of diving, sadly. And so she never actually got to see me compete. She did come to one train. Luckily, she came to one training session and saw me flip around and what have you. But sadly, didn't get to see me fully compete. And obviously, I used to travel all the time. And then it was almost as I met her, I stopped. And I think the reason why as well, because like with her work, she travels a lot too. So I was like, oh, this is great. This fits perfectly because we both travel, we both understand it. It's quite hard to find someone that understands traveling with work. But funny enough, I stopped traveling, so I'm just not going anywhere anymore. And she's just dotting around. She's just been in Madrid for 10 days. But it is nice because then sometimes I can fly over and be there with her.
to get jealous.
Yeah, no, I do. I've come to like really enjoy, like, just being at home, enjoying my rent, like TV on, no big lights on, no really bright lights, all like dim, nice lights. Got my coffee, I'm happy.
Oh, you see, but that's you haven't been at home for so blooming long. It's quite nice just to
It's
sit,
true, yeah,
get into a good box set.
yeah,
You know, what else do you want?
yeah.
I,
That's right now. That's my favorite thing to do.
and can I ask, since you have retired, okay, obviously you haven't dived at all since you finished. Do you
Mm-mm-mm.
not dive at all anymore?
Well, I don't really know. So my I've always had a dodgy back, but I was always kind of able to dive through it and just manage it. And then it got really bad, and we went to rehab quite a lot and managed to get it. I managed to get back to 10-meter diving. I remember doing like some of my hard dives. So like forgot that I was quite close to getting back to full fitness. But I just don't think it was written for me because my back. We went to the World Cup. I was just there as a reserve, which was kind of them to actually send me still. They don't diving, they don't normally do that. So it was really kind of them to still send me to the trip. But I had to leave early because my back got really bad. I think with the flight going there, I achieved my dream, and I had a really good time. Kind of just thought, I think it's my time to stop. Like I don't need to put myself through this anymore.
Well, you know what you have to do then. One day when you've got kids and you're on holiday and you just pull a little snazzy dive
Oh
out,
yeah,
they'll be like, "Whoa, check
yeah,
him out!
yeah,
He's still got it."
yeah.
That's it. You'll know how to use that skill at some point down the
Yeah,
line.
it's funny because with a lot of sports, you can kinda, like, still do that sport for a long time, just not at that
But you
crazy
can still
level.
do all the gymnastics side, I presume.
Ish, yeah, I just haven't tried. I haven't done a backflip. I haven't, like, somersaulted, have I? No, I haven't somersaulted in, like, over 2 years or, like, a year and a half, but I need to, and I wanna go. I was close to going, back to the pool in Leeds because they do, like, an adult open session, so I'm, like, tempted to go and just give it a go because it's not like, diving is, like, a thing where, or just me, I don't know, I could never work it out, but let's say it's just me. When I stop diving, even for a summer break, 4 weeks of no diving, I come back and I'm rubbish. I'm a novice.
Oh,
And yeah,
really?
genuinely,
Do you
and
just lose your fitness, or is it that you've kind of like forgotten how to do stuff?
yeah, it's like you lose your yeah, you lose your fitness, like your all your like your core muscles all around your belt, and like if that goes slightly like floppy, like you're all over the place. You can't control where you're going in the air, and I guess also muscle memory
Yeah.
is a big one. I think I'm scared to do it again just because I will be terrible. Like I will not be able to ever be able to be like someone won't be like, oh my god. Yeah, he's well good. He's probably an Olympian. They're not gonna think that at all.
When footballers retire, I'm not saying this is with every footballer, but a lot of footballers, they
Mm.
forget how much exercise impacts the way their physique is, right? And suddenly, they're commentating on the telly, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "No way,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the same person." Is that what it's like for when a diver retires? Is it quite hard to
Yeah.
maintain the physique?
Oh my god, yeah, it's exactly the same in probably all sports as well. Like it kind of comes to you as a shock. I'm okay with not having abs again because it's a lot of work and it's all about your diet as well. Like, and
Yeah,
I
strict
enjoy food
diet
too
as well.
much.
I know that's the thing if you're traveling as well. Did you go to Thailand? I mean,
Yeah.
if you go to Thailand, you want to have a good time.
Oh yeah, yeah. You want to have a good time. You want to eat as much as you want and drink as many beers.
Was it amazing going to Thailand?
Yeah, no, it really. So Thailand was like the first proper holiday, long, long distance holiday that I've ever done. Really, like obviously I went on like
Without a group organising
yeah,
it,
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
It was
thing.
just me and my girlfriend Molly, and it was really, really good. And we were like dotting around. So Molly, she's very organized, as I said, and like she had all these things planned. And like I have ADHD, but I still don't really understand it properly. But like I have hyperactive moments, but I also love to chill. I love to also charge my batteries like that. But I think my girlfriend thought I would need stuff to do all the time, or I'd get bored and fidgety. But she was wrong because like the day, like most of the time, I was like, "Can we just not do that and just chill by the pool, please, for the day?" Um,
Sounds great.
yeah, it was really good.
I mean, obviously, you have travelled and you've gone far away many, many times. But like now, if you just get a few days free, do you just do something here in the UK, a nice little mini staycation, mini break, something like that?
It's genuinely my favorite thing to do at the moment. Like and I have liked doing that for some time. Like it is so nice not to have to deal with like, you know, public transport and you know, airports, terminals and all that security. It's nice to just get in a car or get on a train and go into a rural town and go and stay in like it's genuinely my favorite thing to do. I just turned 28 start of this month, start of March, sorry. And we went and stayed at a play at Kipanook, I think it is, and it like I've only been once, and you know, like it's I don't know how we came across it. I think my girlfriend's really good at finding these little spots, and it gave kind of like Soho farmhouse vibes, but up north. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit out of Darlington, and it's really nice. Like, and we got so lucky with with the weather. It was blue skies, it was sunny, and stayed in it was like a converted shipping
Oh,
container.
wow.
So it just had it was really nice. It had one bed, a little fire, and I love a fire. I love making
Oh
a
my God,
fire.
why is it? All they need to do is put a log burner in something, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, oh, this is fancy.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
really is. And then there was a hot tub outside. Well, it was like a bath thing that was also heated by a fire that you had to, and I just loved it. And the kitchen was actually outside, so it was like felt like you were camping, but not. And we did a nice little walks around the fields, and you know you can't really, you can't hear anything. You can just hear the birds tweaking, and I just love it.
oh, I see. I love stuff like that as well. And there's so many places in the
There
UK.
really is. And I think that one of the main reasons why I love it is because it's like sometimes it's just nice to just go away with either on your own or with a friend, group of friends, or your partner, and you don't have to really interact with anyone else. Like you're it's really private, and I think that's what I love about it. Like it's just you and whoever, a cabin and like a hot tub, and it's just a good way to switch off.
Yeah. That's the thing. We travel so far afield often, and you don't. If you think about it, you can get exactly what you're trying to achieve after traveling for 6 hours. You could have had it
Yeah,
with a 2 hour drive from your house.
legit.
That's the thing. We've got so many great places here. You've
Mhm.
just got to kind of look into it and find them.
Yeah, yeah. They're not hard to find, but yeah. Well,
Especially
just
now
ask
with
my girlfriend, she'll
yeah. Well, also with Instagram, you can find anything
exactly.
online now.
Yeah, yeah. It's really good. And it's a lot different to I went on my first cruise not long ago. And I'm not I don't know if you've
They
been on a
say though, once
cruise.
a cruiser, always a cruiser.
Yeah, well, I'd say once cruiser, never a cruiser. For me anyway. Like I think you know as soon as you've done one if it's for you or not. And don't get me wrong, it was a really cool experience and it was with a great group of people, but a lot of people. And I just
You're
nah.
going through a quiet phase.
I am, that is it. I am definitely going through a quiet phase at the minute. I'm sure I'll probably come out of that at some point and wanna be in the hustle bustle of it all, but for now peace and quiet.
Well, it sounds like things are getting busy for you in a way, here as well,
Yeah,
because you've got your new podcast.
I
Tell me
do.
about it.
Yeah, so we're launching my podcast is launched. If you're listening and watching already, it's called the After Dive, and it's a bit of a like a toast and a nod to my like diving career, like a love letter to my diving career, like because I'm no longer obviously in the sport diving. Like I wanted to find a way to still be involved in sport because it's all I know, and also learn off other people. The reason I guess why it's called the after dive is like it's about what like I love listening and learning of how people deal with the aftermath of something, like whether it is what happened, what did you do, like how did you manage after a really big successful competition or even a failure, grief, retirement. Like we touch on all of those sort of things, and it's also a place to like I wanted to create like a fun, relaxed, safe space for athletes like myself to talk about them as people instead of just like the accolades and what they've done and what they've achieved. Because like you can just Google search that sort of stuff, can't you? And I love learning about everyone's challenge. Like everyone has a story,
Yeah.
and it's nice to hear them. But I must say, podcasting is it's a skill. And like so, I commend you being a presenter as well and all that sort of
But
stuff.
just
Like
having to chat to people.
well, yeah, because I think a podcast host, what I've realized is that you want to be present, you want to chat to your guests, but you're also kind of like directing it, producing it all at the same time in your head. Because and also, I have little flashcards too, and like you kind of want to follow the rhythm of your podcast, but also stay present. And it's hard work, but it's going well, and it is a lot of fun. And I kind of miss the feeling of doing something completely new again, because
Yeah.
obviously throughout my whole life, like I've just kind of done diving, and obviously when I was younger, I didn't, I wasn't good at it, and I had to learn, and you go through challenges. Like not every day was good, and I used to cry and all that sort of stuff. Not that I cry about my podcast, but it's been really fun and interesting to like do something new
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And the
a
only
change.
and the only way you can kind of like learn a new skills by doing it anyway. So
Hmm.
it's, I mean, it's brilliant that you're doing it. And also you're right, there's so many sports stars and through their career you're asked continuously about your diving and about your medals,
Yeah,
but sometimes you're like, oh, I actually want to talk about something else that
yeah,
I'm doing.
yeah,
And no,
and I think also that it will help. Like it helps athletes. Almost become more profitable and like marketable. Because it's a hard field to navigate, like being like an Olympic level athlete. But it's been
but
really
there's
fun.
so few of you that you're all incredible.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
If I could be half as good at a sport as you are, I mean, not even half, even less, I would be so proud of
Oh,
myself. And what you've achieved is just amazing.
thank you.
We talked about the fact that we're going to Leeds today, and I know
We
that you've
are.
moved back.
Hmm.
How is it being home?
Love it. I absolutely love it. And London's great, and I do miss it. And I've got a lot of good friends here, but I needed that move. I think London a big city can swallow you up if you're not quite sure on what you want to do with yourself, and that's where I was at. And I was, there's some like it got quite like I got quite depressed, if I'm being honest. I didn't really leave the flat much, and if I ever did, it like you feel instantly kind of isolated because London's such a busy moving place, and I just was like I need a change. I need to move back home, and luckily my girlfriend's also from there, so that was and she wanted to do that too, and we made it happen, and a lot closer to family and friends. And it's I haven't been that long. I don't even think it's been a month yet, but I already feel better in myself and happier. Like I feel like if you're if there's something not right in your life, or like there's something that you're struggling with or something, I think always relate back to your base, and like if that is making you happy, and if it's not, I think you should change it, and that's what I did, and don't regret it.
Yeah. And has the accent got thicker again?
I hope so. Yeah, yeah. I definitely lost it over the
Did you?
7 years. But I think it also comes with being like interviewed and being on TV and all that sort of stuff. And because you slowly forget like you want people to understand you. Because I remember those times where people were like, "What?" Like especially the American divers, they're always like, "What are you saying, Matty?" And I'm like, I had to say it really slow, and they're like, "All right, I got." And then they all try and teach me how to speak. And I was like, "Excuse me, you got your language from us, right?" But yeah, I'm trying to get it back.
It's so funny. Anyway, Leeds is a great, great place, and
Really is.
it changes every time you go as
It
well.
does.
So
Yeah, yeah.
thank you for chatting all about Leeds, all about your amazing career, all about your traveling, all about. Oh, we haven't even talked about your skimpy speedos.
We
Where
could
are
we
they
could.
all?
It's a good question. I've not put on speedos in a long time.
Oh,
Probably don't think I will, unless I get ripped again and I do like a men's health shoot or whatever. But can't see that happening. But I don't know where they all are.
the thing
There's a
is,
lot of
what
them.
what is funny is that no, it's like when you watch the Winter Olympics and we all watch the curling. We know nothing about it when it starts, but we're all experts by then.
Great.
That's what diving is as well.
It is. It is. It's got that same thing in the Olympics. I feel like people, because you don't get to see it all the time because it's never televised, and then at the Olympics it's televised, and it's one of the most watched events. And I believe I've never been actually given this fact, but I'm pretty sure I was told it quite a few times that mine and Tom's event was the most watched event at that Olympics. I don't know if it's true or
Take
not,
it. It's true.
but I'll take
Absolutely.
it, and I believe it, to be fair. But yeah, it is always people love to tune in to watch diving,
We
which
do.
makes me
We
very happy.
absolutely do. I mean, it's just amazing. But you end up watching it and you're like, well, that was rubbish. I mean, it wasn't rubbish ever, but you'd be like, well, that was rubbish. Or if there's a really good one, you go, well, that was just perfect. And I obviously have no idea because the scores do not reflect what I am saying
Yeah, yeah,
ever.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm in awe of you doing that and having not being on the top board because it's too scary high.
Mhm.
Full kudos to you.
Yeah, I'll get you up on 10 meter one day. Don't worry.
I don't even
After
want to.
your
I don't even
marathon.
want to go and look off the top board. Look, thank you so much, Matty Lee, for joining us on Roots from LNER. Matty's new podcast, The After Dive, is out now and it's available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms. And by the way, if you like what you heard today, why not rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you give us a follow as well. And look out for Matty's Quiet Coach episode, which will drop next week, where we will hear all about his travelling snacks, tracks and hacks, and which places have inspired and changed him. We will see you then. Skip the roadblock for snooze o'clock. With LNER, it's freedom all the way. Roots from LNER is a Distorted production.